I'm all right, I'm fine.
Welcome to Saturday Night Frights, starring Dungeon Doug.
Oh, yippee, yippee, I want to be a Dungeonite. I want to be... Oh, hi, me and Momar, we're just sitting here working on the few lines of a new song we're working on.
Yeah, you know, there's something familiar about that song, Dougie. I've heard it somewhere before.
Yeah, well, we'll just have to work on that a little bit later, because you know what time it is.
Yep, it's howdy doody time.
No, you reject from a science fair project, you bony thing. It's Dungeon Doug time. It's time for Saturday Night Frights with your host, the most, the guy who throws the slime around.
Momar Cadaver.
Give me a break, Witless. I'm talking about Dungeon Doug, and we've got 2 movies to make your hair fall out, your eyes roll back, and your head and your stomach turn.
Hey, wait a minute. That sounds like the food here at the WETO cafeteria.
Well, yeah, I could always give you some of those worms I had left over from last week.
Ooh, no thanks anyway.
Omar, you know, you really are a slob. This dungeon is a mess. We ought to get a maid to clean up the place.
Hey, well, Dougie, you know, I did hire a maid last week. Oh, and she was good looking, too. Yeah, but she got mad and quit.
Yeah, well, what happened? Did you see the dungeon kitchen?
Well, no. The first thing she said she was going to do was go up to our bedrooms and straighten up our drawers. Well, being the helpful guy that I am, I told her that if she did a good job, I'd help her straighten out her drawers, too. Oh, whoa.
Well, as you can see, we are in desperate need of jokes and puns, limericks, and funny stories. So if you or any of you Dungeonites out there have any semi-clean funny stuff and you'd like to share it with us, just send it to Saturday Night Frights, Post Office Box 1074, Greenville, Tennessee 37744.
Yeah, and if any of you foxy ladies out there have any semi-clean pictures you would like for us to hang on that little house with the crescent moon, just send them us too. Waka.
More, you're too old for such foolishness as that anyway.
Oh, Dougie, how can you say that 105 is old? Why, shoot, man, you're just as young as you feel. Anyway, how are you bearded blunder?
Well, Momar, when I woke up this morning, I felt like an 18-year-old.
18? Wow.
Yeah, the only problem was there weren't any 18-year-old girls around.
Oh, you're a sick man, Dougie, but that's why I like you. Hey, speaking of 18-year-olds with legs, isn't that what our first feature is about?
No, not only are you old, but you can't even read. Our first feature is called Legacy of Horror, not Legs of Horror, Legacy of Horror, and it stars Chris Broderick, and it's about an uninvited terror that these heirs have to encounter when they go to this old house to read the will. I'm not going to tell you any more about it, though. You'll just have to watch and see for yourself.
You know, I thought for sure it's all about legs. Oh, well, sit back, lay back, get back, or just whatever position you watch this show in, because here's the first feature on Saturday Night Frights on WETO.
Legs, I use more on you.
Good looking legs, too.
Don't you just hate it when right in the middle of the damn burn show they stop the rascal for some stupid stuff?
Yeah, I know what you mean, Dougie. Just about the time we get rolling real good, they interrupt us with some nonsense they call a movie.
Since you brought up movies there, Momar, that reminds me of last week when the TV signal on our TV set got screwed up and we had to go up on the roof there to fix the antenna.
Oh, man, you said you wouldn't say anything about that.
Well, I lied. Even old Boner here, we gets the ladder up against the wall, you know, and I have to go up the ladder first because Momar's scared and I got to scare off the vultures. And he comes up the ladder, you know. First thing he does is when he gets off the ladder, he kicks it over.
Oh, man, it was an accident, Dougie.
Well, there we were, stuck on the roof. No way to get down, but this superior mind right here and my quick reactions, I told Momar I had a plan brewing.
Yeah, I got a little worried because he wouldn't tell me until it got dark.
Yeah, well, after it finally did get dark, I told Momar that I had this flashlight in my back pocket and I would shine the beam down on the ground, get a real long, nice, powerful beam, and he could climb down the beam to the ground, pick up the ladder, and lean it up against the roof.
Oh, sure, that's the way he tells it. You know, I might look stupid, Dougie, but I'm not really that stupid. You know, I figured just about the time I got halfway down that beam, Dougie turned the flashlight out, and where would I be?
You're right, Momar. I thought you were stupid. Anyway, you know, we'd probably still be up there today if the old warden's wife hadn't come in to clean out the guard dog's cage. The guard dog's cage.
Oof, oof. You know, Dougie, maybe some of our viewers can let some things out, you know, like their best kept jokes or stories or centerfold pictures.
Yeah, good idea. All you have to do is send them here to the dungeon, Saturday Night Frights, Post Office Box 1074, Greenville, Tennessee, 37744.
Hey, Dougie, you know, speaking of dogs, you know, what do you call a dog with no legs?
I don't know, Momar. What do you call a dog with no legs?
Oh, man, it don't matter what you call him, Dougie. He won't come anyway.
Momar, that's almost as stupid as the time you went deer hunting.
Oh, man, not again.
See, Momar went deer hunting, slithering through the jungle there, and came up to this clearing. And in this clearing was a beautiful woman, sunbathing nude.
Ooh.
And Momar, well, he asked her if she was game. Well, this lady must have been blind because she said, yeah, Momar, I'm game. You know what he did? He shot her.
Well, you know, at least I gave her a decent barrel. You know, I'd never seen anyone else who had a coffin look like a hollow log.
Seems like all this talk about death would be a good place to get back to our movie, Legacy of Horror. You've got 10 seconds to get to the fridge and get another cool one.
Yeah, or to finish the whatever you do to the light of late night TV.
Pretty scary there, Momar. But the next one may be even scarier. It's your biography. It's called Brainless Head.
Brainless Head? Why, Dougie, you know, I used to have a brain, but I donated all my body parts to science. Yeah, they said they'd never seen such a warped brain. You know, they could use all my body parts but one. They said they didn't have any use for something that small. And besides, the name of the movie is called Headless Eyes.
Well, since you brought up body parts, this movie, Headless Eyes, is a real graphic display of tasteless gore.
Yeah, and speaking of tasteless gore, you know, I bet the senator's wife wouldn't let her kids watch this one.
Oh, you may be right. Speaking of senators, do you know why senators don't use bookmarks?
No, why don't senators use bookmarks?
Well, because senators like their pages bent over.
Ooh. Oh, enough. Now, what's this movie really about, Dougie?
It's about people eating eyeballs and other human delights, and I really love it. But, of course, I like picking locks on chastity belts in my teeth, you know.
Well, you know, it's obvious that we're not going to find out about this movie from old demented Doug there. And why do they always say my mind's in the gutter?
Because it usually is you, you commode lid. You think our jokes are bad and tasteless? Well, you're right, they are. But we would love to hear some of your rude and crude and lewd jokes, and you can even send us letters, because we know you would love to be a dungeon knight, too.
Hey, that sounds like a song. Let's see. I'm a dungeon knight. She's a dungeon knight. Wouldn't you like to be a yeah, that's catchy. I like that. I like that.
So you're saying to yourself, self, where can I send these letters to? Well, you can send them right here to the dungeon. Saturday Night Frights, Post Office Box 1074, Greenville, Tennessee. Zip code is 37744.
Yeah, so let's get back to our fine, frightful feature about this guy, much like our host there, Dungeon Doug, who likes cutting out women's eyes and putting them in Tupperware or Rubbermaid containers. You know, I put mine in Rubbermaid because they're clear and you can see little eyeballs staring back at you.
You can imagine the commercial we would make with those folks. Well, no, never mind. Let's see our second feature on Saturday Night Frights, Headless Eyes on WETO.
Welcome to Saturday Night Frights, starring Dungeon Doug.
Lock your doors and and shut the windows, pull the shades, and run to the refrigerator.
Hey, lady. Yeah, you over there. Good day. Why you up? Could you fix us something to drink?
Momar, who are you talking to?
Oh, that woman over there. You see her? You know, the one in the curlers? Well, I heard her say she was going to the kitchen to get something to drink.
I think that moon tanning sessions you've been going to has finally gotten to that pea brain of yours.
Baby. Oh. Woo, hey, what did I tell you, Dougie? Darn nice lady, you know. She kind of reminds me of my dear old sweet mama.
Your mother? Well, yeah, I always did like her because when you were born, she took a look at the afterbirth and said she'd rather keep that. She said she'd rather have something that at least had a little intelligence.
Har. Well, you know, at least my mom had some children that lived. But seriously, Dougie, you know, I went back home to see my mama last weekend, and she was standing in the front yard with her pocketbook open over her head.
What? Now, let me get this straight. She was standing in the yard with the pocketbook open over her head. Wow, was somebody trying to rob her?
No, she said that she'd been watching the weatherman, and he was expecting some change to come in the weather, and she was needing the money.
Well, I can see where you got all your intelligence from there, Momar. It sounds like the time that you drug your poor mama into the house because your father said it was going to be raining cats and dogs, and you were afraid she was going to step in a poodle.
Okay, don't rub it in. That was out of nowhere hair would fall out like that if you pulled it that hard. You know, at least I bought her that nice red and silver wig there.
You know, Momar, you are one tasteless son of a...
Uh-oh.
What do you mean, uh-oh? I don't like the sound of that uh-oh, Momar. What did you do?
I forgot to give you a telegram that came in last week, Dougie.
What telegram? What did you do with it? Well, where is it, Momar?
Well, I had to use it, Dougie.
What? Oh, no. Not there.
Yeah, well, you know, I can't.
Oh, well, let's see. Oh, no, this is terrible news.
What is
no wonder you didn't want to tell it. It's from Bob Tasteless.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll read what he's got to say.
Okay.
I'm so pleased that your show, Saturday Night Frights, is such a big hit. It's got to be one of the most tasteless shows on television today.
What?
And that is why I, Bob Tasteless, am coming to the dungeon tonight. The movie you guys showed last week entitled Headless Eyes was so disgusting that it inspired me to create a new candy that I'm sure the kids are going to love. I'll explain more tonight in the dungeon. Thanks for the use of Saturday Night Frights, because I know it reaches thousands of tasteless people. Signed, Bob Tasteless. Oh, no. Not Bob Tasteless. He's the worst.
Oh, gosh. Well, Dougie, maybe our first movie will take our minds off it for a while. Yeah?
Maybe you're right, Momar.
Oh, I hope so. Our first movie is Dorian Grey.
Yeah, Dorian Grey. It's about a man who sells his soul for eternal youth. Ooh, it's a good movie.
Yeah, it stars Helmut Berger and Herbert Lum.
And don't forget, all you Dungeonites need to write us with your jokes, puns, limericks, and funny stories.
So send your mail to Saturday Night Frights, Box 1074, Greenville, Tennessee, 37744.
Right you are, more. Right now, though, grab the popcorn, grab yourself a drink, grab the one you love, where you love to grab them, and enjoy Dorian Grey, our first feature tonight on Saturday Night Frights.
Oh, Dougie, man, do you really think Bob Tasteless will show up?
Oh, I hope not. That guy is suicide. We in real trouble.
Whoa.
We talk about the leader. We tried to keep him away, but from the looks of things, he's here.
Oh, man, you don't mean Bob Tasteless.
That's right, the guy who spends his summers in Kmart and his winter at the Redneck Riviera.
You mean the same guy who operates the Bob Tasteless School of Valley Girl Dialects and Hard Rock School of Cosmetology?
Yeah, and he also serves as a publicity agent for Art Paterno, Joan Collins, Billy Carter, and let's not forget Virgil Q. Wax.
Hey, you know, I also hear he writes creative advertising copy for feminine hygiene products and processed cheese food.
So get ready, Dungeonites, and strap yourself to the old honey pot there, Momar, because here he is, Bob Tasteless.
How are you? It's such a pleasure for you to see me tonight.
You know, sometimes I wish the rats had eaten my eyes out, you know.
Hey, Dougie, I got it. This is greater than my invention of the polyester pantsuit.
Yeah, those did make great bath mats. Yeah.
And it's even better than them primo hair pieces I did for Dolly Parton and Ernest Angley. Remember them, huh?
Yeah, you know, I remember those hair pieces. I bought one. Well, they even came with their own lights.
Funny. Hey, feast your eyes in here. Look at this. Hey, you, the geek with the ugly shirt. Get your camera in here. Looky here. Inspired by the movie Headless Eyes, here they are. Headless Eyes candies. What do you think, huh? Look at that, Dougie.
Oh, yeah. Are those what I think they are?
That's right, little candied eyeballs. The kiddies will love these, huh? And they taste great. Here, Momar.
No, I don't.
See, Dougie, Momar likes those. Hey, how about one you
No, I had an extra big lunch today.
Looky here, Dungeonites. You see that Momar Cadaver and Dungeon Doug over here, they both like these Headless Eyes candies. And I'd love for you to try these too from Bob Tasteless Enterprises. Here's all you have to do. All you have to do is write us care of Saturday Night Frights here in Greenville, Tennessee, Post Office Box 1074, Greenville, Tennessee 37744, and ask for your free sample of Headless Eyes candies. We'll be glad to send them out to you.
Oh, do yourself a favor and don't send for any of these.
Hey, Dougie, we ought to take a poll of the Dungeonites who write in and see how many like these things.
Bob Tasteless, I believe the eyes have it.
It's pretty funny for some guy who can't even see the golf ball when he tees off, huh? Well, I tell you what, gang. I gotta go. Splitsville, gotta catch the big boy to Vegas. They're putting me on the Chamber of Commerce as an honorary member there. See you around, okay? Okay?
Boy, that Bob Tasteless sure knows how to raise an eyebrow.
Yeah, no kidding, Dougie. Yeah, but while we can still see straight, let's get back to our movie, Dorian Grey with Helmut Berger on WETO's Saturday Night Frights.
I wonder what Tasteless will come up with next. Pickled fingers?
It could be toasted toes.
Momar, you know, it's amazing how much action, adventure, drama, and comedy we pack into one show.
Well, yeah, you know, Dougie, but I figured out what category our last guest fit into.
Yeah, and what's that, Momar?
A canceled dramatic tragedy.
Well, I'll tell you what a real tragedy is. A tragedy is when you were tossed over the edge of that 6-story building.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was a tragic experience.
Well, the real tragedy was that football wide receiver caught you.
Funny, Dougie. You know, I didn't think that was half as bad as when the crowd started cheering and he slammed me behind his back and screamed touchdown.
Oh, so that explains why you're so pig-headed. You know, get it? Pigskin, football, pig-headed, you know?
Yeah, I got it. Well, why are you asking anyway?
Well, that girl out there that's sitting on that fellow's, she's sitting on there. She looked like she didn't get it.
Hey, you know, speaking of football in Texas, you know the difference between a pigeon and a Texas old man?
You know what's coming, Dungeonites? All together now. No more. What's the difference between a pigeon and a Texas oil man?
Well, Dougie, it seems that a pigeon can still make a deposit on a new Mercedes.
You know, Momar, I think you're full of that pigeon deposit stuff. Momar, I think you need a new haircut. And I know a barber even better than the Dungeon's own Rusty Shears.
Oh, really? Who's that?
Sweeney Todd's his name.
Hey, wait a minute. I've heard of him. Doesn't he have a problem with customers disappearing?
Well, you just have to see some of his work, Momar, because it's the subject of our next movie.
Oh, can you give me a hint of what it's about? I mean, now that you got my hair standing on end.
Well, just a little. Momar there, he supplies the local butcher with a new and distinctive tasting meat.
You mean?
Yep, that's right. And it's
March of Dimes Telethon beginning 9 p.m. Saturday here on TV 39.
It's supposed to be Reggie Neal with WXBQ to host it.
Yeah, and Jerry George, waka, from WQUT.
But don't despair. Mail to Saturday Night Frights. Post Office Box 1074, Greenville, Tennessee 37744.
Oh, and now that Bob Tasteless has left for Las Vegas, get ready to enjoy our second feature tonight on Saturday Night Frights called Sweeney Todd.
That's right. That eyeball candy is never gonna make it.
You know, I think you're right there, Well Breath.
What? Well, Breath?
Yeah.
Clear and convincing evidence of that libel.
We got benefits and another week off.
Yeah, now all we need is a paycheck so we can enjoy it.
Now, I don't know what you're going to do, but I'm going to enjoy the 21 hours of the March of Dimes Telethon beginning 9 p.m. Saturday here on TV 39.
It's supposed to be Reggie Neal with WXBQ to host it.
Yeah, and Jerry George, waka, from WQUT.
But don't despair, Dungeonites. Momar and I will return Saturday, July the 5th for another edition of Saturday Night Frights here on WETO.